Hey, what's up YouTube? It is Captain Shock here, welcome back. Now today I'm going to be talking about the REKT EPIC Assault Rifle, and is it worth it? Does it get the Captain Shock seal of approval? Now to all of my new viewers out there, I'm the kind of guy that loves using the best of the best out of everything. If it's worth using, I will be using it. I have very high and strict standards, so if it's mediocre, don't give it to me. I just want the best. I want to destroy. So is the REKT top tier? Is it elite? Is it worth your hard-earned salvage? Well, stay tuned to find out. Now the REKT Assault Rifle is a fully automatic variant of the R3K Assault Rifle. The R3K is a burst fire assault rifle, but this EPIC version is actually a fully automatic version, right? So it sounds good already. The attachments that I am using right here is an ELO sight, I'm using silencer, quick draw and particle amp. Now, this setup is for getting your streaks with this weapon. This setup is if you're at a more of an advanced level and you want to get those higher streaks, and heads, this zombie is going to get wrecked, or tails, he's going to live. Oh, heads, sorry boy, get wrecked. Now the alternative class setup for the REKT, and you have to keep in mind that the version I told you about, the class setup that I told you about, is for getting your high streaks. Now the version that I'm going to tell you about now is for melting up opposition. It's for taking them off their streaks. It's for absolutely vaporizing them, and that is an ELO sight, grip, quick draw and particle amp. You won't go wrong with that. You will absolutely take them off their streak. You will get them angry. They'll be like, this gun is overpowered. You can go on streaks with that class setup as well, but overall I found this class setup that I'm using right now is more consistent. Why? Because the REKT is a slower firing weapon, right? So if you encounter multiple enemies, the chance of you surviving that encounter is quite low because of that slow fire rate compared to other assault rifles like the K-bar. So what you want to do, you want to keep it silent and you want to take them out behind enemy lines. You want to shoot them from the sides and the back, and you don't want to show up on the minimap, right? You don't want them to react to you. You just want to take them out and move away. So that's why this setup is superior for getting your streaks. Now as for using the weapon, what did I think about it when I was using it? Well, the first thing I thought about when using this weapon is it hits very hard. It hits very hard. It absolutely melts your opponents once you hit your target though. You need to have your shots on target, because if you miss a few bullets on target, you can be severely punished with this weapon. So you have to be accurate, you have to be cerebral in your approach when using this weapon. You have to use the head glitches nicely, the angles nicely, and just absolutely be on point and on target. The damage is very high on this weapon, and that's a good balance because the slow fire rate is keeping them back, right? So you need that added damage on the weapon to compete with other assault rifles, and this gun absolutely competes with the other variants, the other EPIC versions of the NV4 for example. This gun competes with all of them, and it is a very strong gun in the right hands, but it takes some skill to use. So you have to be accurate, you have to hit your shots on target, but you can actually turn on people with this weapon. It's that good, the damage is that high, and if given a chance, if they show you some weakness, you can absolutely destroy multiple of them once you hit those shots on targets. As for the recoil is very manageable. You don't even need a grip when using this class setup, but if you just want to destroy tryhards, like I said, and take them off the streaks, then you will need that grip, that quick draw, that ELO sight, and of course the particle amp. It absolutely melts, trust me on this. The downsides of the REKT is the iron sight. The iron sight is very blocky, and it diminishes the usefulness of this weapon, because like I keep mentioning in this video so far, you've heard it, you need to be accurate with this weapon, and the blocky iron sight just hinders you, especially if there's synaptic tryhards flying through the air. That blocky sight will hinder you, and you will find yourself getting killed a lot. So I definitely recommend an optical sight, a clear optical sight, to use either the red dot sight or the ELO sight, but with a good and clear red dot. Now what should you use this weapon for primarily? Should you pull this out against tryhards, or should you go for your streaks with this weapon? Well, this weapon is quite versatile, like I said, depending on your class setup. I do prefer to go on nice kill streaks with this weapon, get some nice gun streaks going, and get my score streaks up in the air due to that. So what specialist will pair with this weapon very nicely? Well, of course, it's going to be the warfighter with that combat focus and ping. It works amazing with combat focus because you can just absolutely melt opponents with it, right? So when you activate your combat focus, you know you have that power behind you with this weapon to melt your opponent who is coming at you, and you have your combat focus activated. You know it's almost a guaranteed kill, and you're going to get your extra score towards your score streak. But of course, the FTL with phase shift and perception and the synaptic rig with rewind and propulsion are always good alternatives if you want to use them. So would this gun be able to compete against the K-Bar, the NV4s, the E-Rads, the Karmas, you name it? Would it be able to compete with those weapons? Well, the answer is yes and no. In a very highly competitive setting, the K-Bar will beat this assault rifle. The K-Bar will absolutely destroy this assault rifle because the K-Bar is more versatile, the handling is better, the fire rate is faster, and if you hit your shots on target, the time to kill can be very quick. Well, however, this gun is a very tactical weapon. It's very good in public matches, in gaining your streaks. If you have a more slower playstyle, if you're a beginner or a medium level player, and you just take your time and move around the map, which is good, you know, you're taking your time, you're learning the game, then this weapon will absolutely suit you well. You will get your streaks with this weapon once played correctly. You cannot rush around with this weapon. This is not a rushes weapon like the K-Bar. That's the difference. When people are playing with weapons, they need to understand the weapon that they are using. This is not a rushes weapon. This is a weapon that will absolutely shut the enemy team down once you position yourself properly and hit your shots on target. The other question you may be asking is it top tier? Is the REKT Assault Rifle top tier? Well, the answer is it is very close to being top tier. In the right hands, it is an absolutely devastating weapon, and it outperforms a lot of the other epic variants in the other weapon categories. Believe it or not, this gun is that good. In fact, a lot of the epic weapons in the other categories, they're not that good, to be honest with you. It's not worth spending the salvage, and I will eventually cover those videos. However, this is one of the few weapons that is actually worth spending the salvage on to get it if you haven't gotten it in a supply drop yet. But I did have to purchase this myself, so you know it's a good weapon, you know it's a decent weapon, and it can handle the pressure. But like I said, if you're playing with this weapon, you have to know how to play with it. You have to change your playstyle. If you rush a lot, you have to slow it down a bit with this weapon, but it will reward you, and reward you very highly. It reminds me of a more mobile version of the raw LMG, and you guys know I love using the raw LMG. That's one of my most favorite weapons to use in Infinite Warfare. So this gun, that's why I like it so much as well. It really reminds me of that raw LMG. It gives me that extra better handling than the raw. So does a REKT Assault Rifle get the Captain Shock seal of approval? Yes, it 100% does. It gets the Captain Shock seal of approval, and look at the results. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, guys. If you did, please share the videos, guys. If you want to see me grow, I would appreciate that. And do subscribe if you haven't already. Take care. Bye.